Hi everyone, Dan, the heat pump business builder here. Last week, like many of you, I went to the installer show up in Birmingham. Now, when I was there, I had a really interesting chat with one of the representatives of one of the large energy firms that are doing the £5 heat pumps. They also will beat any quote as well. So they are selling completely on price. What really struck me as quite strange is that already they've adopted the commodity mindset. They've kind of gone, yeah, they're all the same, so we'll just compete on price. Perhaps not surprising from an energy company, which of course, if they're selling electric and gas, that's all they've got to compete with normally anyway. So I guess they kind of just defaulted to their norm. The interesting thing was that what the rep said was he felt sorry for smaller installers like yourselves because you just can't compete on price. With these energy companies actually subsidizing the cost of the purchase for the homeowner. They're actually putting in anything like on average around about £6,000 a system they're paying towards the cost of the installation. Now, this chap said that they were doing 300 systems a month. Personally, I don't believe a word of that, but if we half it, it's probably closer to the truth. Which means that over the next 12 months, they're going to do around about 2,500 installations. Now, if the energy companies are subsidising each one of those on average by £6,000, that means they're going to be investing around about £15 million over the next 12 months in these subsidies. Now, if sales continue to increase, as you'd assume that they might, let's say that doubles over the following 12 months. So you've got a total of 24 months. 15 million, 30 million, 45 million in total over 24 months. So obviously that can't go on forever. So at some point that is clearly going to stop. Now, interestingly, obviously when it comes to recouping that money, let's say they bank £500 per system they sell from that point onwards. Well, even if they were installing 5,000 systems a year, to recoup that 45 million would take them 18 years. So whatever game they're playing, whatever race they're running in, clearly is a very long-term plan. Now, the point being is you're not in the same race, okay? So whatever they're doing and why they're doing it should not affect you in the slightest, okay? Now, once that penny drops, it's really good news, okay? And the reason why it's good news is that you'll realise that the people they're selling to, their £5 heat pumps, are not your customers, okay? They are the people that buy a £5 heat pump are not the people that would have otherwise spent 15 to 18 grand with you. That they wouldn't have spent that money with you. Their only option is a £5 heat pump, by and large. So it doesn't matter how many they sell to, they can sell thousands of the things. It won't actually affect your business in one way, shape or another. Okay, and that's something to really get your head around and understand and realise. So it's much the same as, I don't know, let's say BMW, Mercedes, Rolls-Royce even. They don't get worried when Dacia bring a 12 grand Sandero to the market. Rolls-Royce don't think, oh my God, we're never going to sell another £500,000 car ever again because you can get a Dacia for 12 grand. Of course they don't. They know it's a completely different market. The people that buy a £500,000 Rolls-Royce, they're not going to buy a Dacia Sandero, okay? In the unlikely event that they did, it would probably be for one of their staff, okay? They'd still buy their Rolls-Royce. So it's about understanding who your customer is. Now, this is not just limited to cars. Could be anything. If you owned a Michelin-starred restaurant and a fish and chip shop opened across the road, you're not going to think, oh my God, no one's going to be spending 500 quid for a meal with us anymore when they can go to the chip shop next door and get sausage and chips, cod and chips for a tenner. Okay, maybe not a tenner, maybe it's a little bit more than that these days, but you get the point. Okay, completely different customers, different markets, wants and needs. It's not limited to food. Bicycles, the most common form of transport in the world. They're easily accessible. They cost hardly anything at all, which is why they're the most common form of transport in the world. Yet still, there's companies that sell thousands of carbon fiber bikes for £12,000 or more. Okay, so how do the premium brands do it in markets that are very established, where there's some seriously cheap alternatives to their premium product? Well, the answer to that is that they understand their niche. Okay, they tailor their message to that niche. Yes, they talk specifically to them. They've got a value proposition that is totally relevant to them and resonates with them, and then they make sure that they put that message in a place where only their audience will see it. Okay, now, for example, when you were at Installer Show, if you were there, did you see a stand for Rolls-Royce? No, you didn't. Okay, it's not their market, so clearly Rolls-Royce are not going to have a stand at the Installer Show. However, if you go to the Southampton Boat Show, there's a very good chance you will see a Rolls-Royce stand there. The simple fact that people that buy £10 million yachts are also the people that buy the £500,000 Rolls-Royce. So it makes all sense in the world that that is where they should advertise. It's one of those, if you've never seen an advert for a Rolls-Royce, because you're not their target market and you're not seeing their adverts. Does that make sense? So how do you compete with these £5 heat pumps? Well, the answer is actually really simple, and it is to identify your niche down and have a customer in mind, have a vision of who they are, what's important to them, and then create your value proposition that's unique and special to that customer that you've got in mind, something that truly resonates with them. Okay, and then ensure that you get that message out in front of them and only them in a way that they understand, it feels right, and they resonate with that. If you've identified that niche and you've got your value proposition absolutely nailed down, they will flock to you like yacht owners will flock to free champagne on the Rolls-Royce stand at the Southampton Boat Show. So position yourself as a premium brand. You may well be selling the same product as the £5 heat pumps people, but you're not selling the same experience. You're not selling the same service. How intimate is the service from a company that sells thousands and thousands of systems per year? The answer, of course, is not particularly intimate. So if that's what's important to your niche, that's the thing that they will pay for. And they'll pay a premium for it in the same way that people will pay £12,000 for a bicycle, £500 for fish and chips served on a nice plate, and £500,000 for a Rolls-Royce. Premium branding. Okay. Now, if you want to understand more about how to do this, get in touch. We'll schedule a call. We'll go through it. We'll set your target market, your niche, and your messaging, and where we can get that message out. All right, look forward to speaking to you soon.